When we think of haunted places, most of us imagine old castles, abandoned houses, or lonely graveyards. But what if I told you that some of the most haunted locations might not be on Earth at all, but far beyond it? Space is vast, cold, and silent, yet countless astronauts and cosmonauts have reported encounters that sound less like science fiction and more like ghost stories. From strange knocks on spacecraft to glowing figures appearing in orbit, these stories suggest that even in the endless void of space, we may not be alone. Tonight, we're venturing into the most haunted places in space, locations where the unexplained has left astronauts shaken and the rest of us questioning what's really out there. Let's begin with the far side of the moon. In 1969, the crew of Apollo 10 was orbiting the moon in preparation for Apollo 11's historic landing. As they passed over the lunar far side, completely cut off from radio contact with Earth, something unexpected happened. Their headsets filled with a strange, eerie whistling sound, what they later described as space music. The sound was unlike anything they had ever heard before, high-pitched, rhythmic, and almost melodic. Alone in the darkness, with no contact with Earth, the astronauts were shaken. NASA later dismissed it as interference between radios, but the astronauts insisted it felt like something else. Imagine drifting over the far side of the moon, silence pressing in on you from all sides, and suddenly hearing an otherworldly song in the void. If any place in space could be haunted, surely it's the far side of the moon. But Earth's orbit has its own share of mysteries. The International Space Station, humanity's home above the Earth, has been the site of numerous eerie events. Multiple astronauts have reported hearing knocking sounds on the hull of the station, tapping, as if someone were outside, knocking to come in. In the vacuum of space, such a thing should be impossible. Yet time and again, astronauts have recorded these sounds. Some explain it as the metal contracting with temperature changes, but others swear the knock sounded deliberate, too rhythmic to be random. Imagine floating 250 miles above Earth and hearing someone or something tap on your door. One of the strangest stories comes from 1984, aboard the Soviet space station Salyut 7. Cosmonauts Vladimir Solovyov and Oleg Atkov reported seeing glowing, angelic figures outside the station. They described these beings as enormous, radiant, and humanoid, with wings that seemed to shimmer in the void. Days later, new cosmonauts joined them, and they too claimed to see the same figures. These sightings were officially dismissed as hallucinations, but the cosmonauts never backed down from their accounts. If true, then Salyut 7 might be one of the most haunted places in orbit, a station visited by something not of this world. Then there's the story of astronaut Leroy Chiao. In 2005, during a spacewalk outside the International Space Station, he saw something that left him stunned, a formation of lights moving in unison just below him. They weren't stars, and they weren't satellites. NASA suggested they were fishing boats on Earth's surface, but Chiao rejected that explanation. He described the lights as intelligent, as though they were watching him. For many, this raises the chilling possibility that certain stretches of Earth's orbit are not empty, but occupied, haunted by something unknown. Unmanned missions, too, have their own strange tales. Some satellites and probes have recorded radio bursts that sound uncannily like voices, whispers carried across the cosmos. The famous Black Knight satellite, a mysterious object in Earth's orbit, has fueled countless theories, with some insisting it's an ancient spacecraft watching us. Whether real or myth, it has become a symbol of space's most haunted mysteries. Even Mars has its stories. While no humans have set foot there yet, the rovers Spirit and Opportunity recorded unexplained audio anomalies during their missions. Some of these sounds resembled faint whispers or distorted voices, though NASA wrote them off as glitches in transmission. But it raises the question, could entire planets themselves be haunted, not just ships and stations? What makes these stories even more unsettling is the way astronauts describe their feelings in these haunted locations. Many admit to a powerful sense of being watched, of not being alone. They hesitate to share these accounts publicly, fearing ridicule, but when they do speak, their voices carry a weight of truth that's hard to ignore. Space is supposed to be empty, but it doesn't feel empty to those who've been there. Perhaps these haunted places are not haunted in the way we think of ghosts on Earth. Maybe they are echoes of something beyond our understanding, residual energies, life forms we can't yet perceive, or even manifestations of the human mind under extreme conditions. But then again, maybe they really are haunted. Maybe space holds not only stars and planets, but also spirits, shadows, and presences that linger in the void. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, those twinkling lights and glowing planets may not be as silent and empty as they seem. From the far side of the moon to the corridors of the ISS, from glowing figures in orbit to whispers recorded by probes, space has its own haunted places, and they're waiting for the next explorers to encounter them. Do you believe space itself can be haunted? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the most haunted places in space, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Because the more we learn about space, the more we realize the final frontier might also be the most haunted frontier.